blobfish secret: how it survives crushing depths. The blobfish's famously sad face is often met with laughter and mockery online. But it's actually a brilliant example of evolutionary adaptation. Living at depths between 600 and 1,200 meters, that's almost 2 miles down, the ocean exerts an incredible amount of pressure, roughly 60 to 120 times what we experience at sea level. Without any natural swim bladder, like many fish, which would be crushed instantly, the blobfish has evolved a unique gelatinous flesh. This substance is less dense than water and allows it to maintain buoyancy without expending energy, essentially floating effortlessly in its high-pressure environment. Its appearance isn't so much about looking sad, but rather the result of decompression. When brought to the surface, the sudden pressure change distorts its tissues, creating that iconic, flattened look we're familiar with. In its natural habitat, it likely has a more streamlined form. Imagine descending into the ocean's abyss, past sunlight and familiar life, into a realm of perpetual darkness. At depths exceeding 2,000 meters, that's over 60 feet, conditions become truly extreme. The pressure down there is staggering. It's more than 100 times greater than what we experience at sea level. It's almost unimaginable how much weight the water exerts. Most living creatures simply wouldn't be able to survive such immense force. Their bodies would likely be instantly crushed. This incredible pressure shapes everything about this environment, and especially the organisms that call it home. The incredible pressure crushing these creatures at such depths, nearly 13,000 feet, would instantly obliterate most life forms. But the blobfish has a truly remarkable adaptation: its flesh. It's not muscle or bone, it's primarily composed of water and collagen, giving it this almost gelatinous consistency. This unique composition actually allows it to survive under such immense weight. Think of it like a very loosely packed sponge. The pressure is evenly distributed throughout, preventing collapse. The blobfish doesn't need strong muscles or a rigid skeleton. Its body itself provides the defense against that crushing force. Many deep-sea creatures rely on swim bladders to control their depth, essentially internal balloons that help them stay at a specific level in the water column. But the blobfish takes an unusual approach. It doesn't have one. It's simply not needed, and frankly, wouldn't survive down there. The crushing pressure at these depths, over 120 times what we experience on land, would instantly collapse any swim bladder. Instead, the blobfish's gelatinous flesh provides just enough buoyancy to maintain its position, allowing it to conserve energy without needing this extra organ. One remarkable thing about the blobfish is how effortlessly it stays afloat. Its body tissue has a remarkably low density, less dense than water itself. This unique characteristic allows it to achieve neutral buoyancy. Essentially, it doesn't sink and it doesn't rise. That means it can simply hang out in the deep ocean without having to constantly swim or exert energy to maintain its position. Imagine how much that would conserve resources for a creature living in an environment where food is scarce. It's a truly brilliant adaptation, enabling their sedentary, bottom-dwelling lifestyle. What's truly remarkable about a blobfish is how its body actually works under immense pressure. Living so deep, they face crushing forces we can barely imagine. To cope with this, Their flesh isn't like ours, it's almost entirely made up of a gelatinous substance rich in collagen fibers. These aren't just randomly arranged, they form an incredibly intricate network throughout the blobfish body. This unique structure distributes that pressure evenly, preventing any single point from being crushed and allowing them to maintain their shape despite the overwhelming depths. This unique, jelly-like texture isn't just about looking strange, it's a brilliant adaptation to life under immense pressure. Because its body is mostly water and lacks dense bones or muscles, the blobfish doesn't need to expend significant energy fighting against the crushing depths. Think of it like this: instead of actively swimming, it essentially drifts along, supported by the surrounding water. This gelatinous composition dramatically minimizes the metabolic cost needed for buoyancy, meaning less energy is spent just staying afloat, and also helps maintain its tissue integrity at those extreme pressures. It's a remarkably efficient system. It's truly floating with minimal effort. That droopy, almost melted appearance we often see in pictures of blobfish. It's likely a bit misleading. Scientists think that distinctive look is largely created when they're brought to the surface. The pressure deep down, where they live around 600 meters or nearly 2,000 feet, is immense. When scientists capture them, the sudden drop in pressure can cause their tissues to expand and distort, leading to that unusual, blob-like shape. Their true form, researchers believe, is probably more streamlined, still gelatinous, of course, because they lack swim bladders and need to be neutrally buoyant, but less deflated looking. It's a fascinating reminder that what we see isn't always the whole story. The blobfish's unusual appearance isn't just about looks, it's a direct consequence of its deep sea existence and remarkable adaptation to immense pressure. One key factor is the absence of a rigid skeleton. Unlike most fish, it doesn't possess bones that would crack or shatter under such weight. Instead, it relies on a gelatinous structure for support, almost entirely composed of water. This allows it to deform dramatically without suffering any lasting damage. Imagine squeezing a water balloon. It changes shape, but returns to its original form. When the pressure is released, the blobfish behaves similarly, effortlessly absorbing and releasing the incredible forces acting upon it at those depths. It's an incredibly efficient design for survival in a truly extreme environment. It might be tempting to laugh at a blobfish's appearance. It really does look quite unusual. But its form isn't about humor. It's the result of millions of years of evolution, perfectly suited for an incredibly challenging habitat. These fish live miles beneath the ocean surface, in areas with crushing pressure, roughly 60 to 120 times greater than what we experience at sea level. At those depths, a swim bladder, the organ most fish use to control buoyancy, simply wouldn't work. It would collapse under the immense force. Instead, the blobfish has evolved to be almost entirely gelatinous. This lack of density allows it to maintain neutral buoyancy without expending energy on swimming. Its flabby body isn't a sign of weakness, it's a structural adaptation that lets it withstand the pressure and drift effortlessly through the deep sea currents, conserving vital resources in an environment where food is scarce. Ultimately, this seemingly comical form is a stunning example of how life adapts to survive in extreme conditions.